let me ask you something, and I want you to be really honest with yourself right now. Think about the last time something went wrong. A conversation that didn't go the way you hoped, news that knocked the air right out of you, a day that just fell apart. What was the very first thing you said to yourself in that moment? Because here's what most people don't realize. It wasn't the situation that decided how that day ended. It was that sentence. That one quiet sentence you told yourself in the first 30 seconds. And today, I want to change what that sentence sounds like. Because there is a kind of strength most people never get taught. Not the loud kind, not the kind that pretends nothing hurts. A calm, quiet, unshakable kind of strength that lives inside you right now, whether you can feel it or not. And by the time we're done here, you're going to know exactly how to find it. Let's start with something that might surprise you. Strong does not mean hard. Strong does not mean you never cry, never doubt, never feel so tired you want to just stop. Real strength is actually soft on the outside and steady on the inside. There are days when you will feel hurt. There are days when you will feel genuinely frightened. There are days when your whole body just wants to give up, and none of that makes you weak. All of that makes you human. What we're talking about today is a different kind of strength, a calm power that doesn't need everything around you to be quiet before you can feel peaceful. Because you're not waiting for life to stop being noisy. You are learning to become the quiet place inside your own noisy life. You stop trying to fix every storm and start learning to be the harbor in the middle of it. So right now, if you're willing, just place a gentle hand on your heart and take a slow breath with me. As you exhale, say this softly inside yourself. There is calm power within me. Once more with a little more feeling. There is calm power within me. And one more time, as if you are speaking directly to the most frightened part of yourself. There is calm power within me. You don't have to feel it yet. That's completely fine. We are not forcing anything here. We are just planting seeds. And seeds take time. The point of power is always in this present moment, right here, right now, with this breath, with this one simple decision. I am willing to find my calm. Now here's something that, if you actually use it, can change how you experience almost every situation in your life. I want you to imagine two circles, one small circle sitting close to your heart and one larger circle surrounding it. In the outer circle, everything you cannot control, other people's opinions, their choices, their reactions, the timing of things, the economy, the traffic, the past. And I want you to be honest with yourself because so many of us spend the entire day in that outer circle, pushing and pulling and arguing with things we were never going to move. Of course, we're exhausted. Of course, we feel like nothing changes. We are trying to rearrange pieces that were never ours to move. The inner circle is different. In the inner circle lives everything that truly belongs to you. The thoughts you're thinking in this moment. The story you are choosing to tell yourself about what's happening. The next small step you decide to take. When you live in the outer circle, you feel powerless. When you return to the inner circle, you start to feel strong again. So try this right now. Think of something that's been bothering you, a relationship, a health worry, a financial stress. Bring it to mind gently, not to suffer, but to learn. Now ask yourself honestly, what part of this is actually mine to control? Maybe you notice there are pieces that belong to someone else's choices, someone else's timing. Let those go just for this moment. Breathe them out. And then ask quietly, what is in my control right here? Maybe it's the way you speak to yourself about it. Maybe it's one small action you could take today. That is where your strength lives. Not out there fighting life, but in here, gently guiding it. Stay with me. because what I'm about to tell you next is probably the most important thing in this entire conversation. Your mind is not a neutral space. If you don't guide it, something else will. Fear will, old stories will, other people's voices will. I like to say your mind is a tool and you are the one who uses it. But most of us were never taught that. We were raised to believe that whatever thought pops into our head must be the truth, that whatever story starts playing must be real. That is not so. The thoughts you think are like little visitors showing up at your door. Some are kind, some are old echoes from people who hurt you years ago. Some are just plain frightened, and the power comes the moment you remember. You are the one who decides who gets to stay. If you let your mind run on its old programming, I can't handle this, I'm not strong enough, something terrible is going to happen, then even on a perfectly ordinary Tuesday, your inner world will feel like a crisis. But if you learn to gently, steadily choose new thoughts, I am learning to handle this, I am growing stronger, I can calm myself right now, then even inside real difficulty, you begin to feel something shift. You don't control every event that happens to you, but you do control the story you tell yourself about it. And that story shapes your experience far more than you realize. So let's make a new choice together. As you inhale right now, imagine you are drawing in fresh, clear air for your mind. Then say softly, I choose my thoughts on purpose. Again, with a little more weight behind each word. I choose my thoughts on purpose. Notice we are not saying I will never have a negative thought again. We are simply saying when they come, I will remember I am not their victim. I can always choose again. Now here's something I want you to really feel because it is one of the most sacred truths I know. No one, absolutely no one, can take away your right to choose your inner attitude. They can take the parking space. They can take the job promotion. They can take their love and walk away. They can misunderstand you, judge you, even betray you, but they cannot reach inside and make you think a single thought. That territory is yours. No one is allowed in there without your permission. You become what you repeatedly believe, and you keep meeting in life what you repeatedly expect. So if you walk through the world believing I am always a victim, I cannot cope, you will read almost every situation through that lens. But if you begin to choose, I am learning to stand tall, I am worthy of peace, I can find calm in myself, you start to notice different doors opening, different people showing up, different responses from life. I want to give you a question that can become a quiet lighthouse inside your mind. Carry it into any situation that feels hard. Ask yourself simply, what would love choose right now? Not what would fear choose, not what would panic choose, not what would the voice that has been criticizing me my whole life choose. What would love choose? Love might choose a softer tone. Love might choose to pause before reacting. Love might choose a firm boundary. Love might choose to ask for help. Love might choose to walk away. And when you practice asking this, you begin to feel that calm power we talked about at the very beginning. Not the power to control everything, but the power to stay connected to yourself in anything. Strength is not the absence of storms. Strength is remembering who you are while the storm passes through. Now let's go deeper, because real lasting strength begins in a place most people overlook. Think of your subconscious mind as a soft, rich garden that is always listening, always receiving, always growing exactly what you plant in it. Every sentence you repeat to yourself is a seed. Your subconscious doesn't argue with you. It doesn't check whether it's true. It simply hears what you say again and again and quietly starts treating it as the truth about you. This is why a strong mindset never begins out there with circumstances. It begins in here, with the way you talk to yourself when nobody is watching. If all day long you tell yourself, I can't handle this, I always fall apart, then that is the crop you are watering. But if you begin saying, I am learning to handle this, I am growing stronger every day, you are planting something new. What you repeat, you become. So choose one sentence right now, just one that your body actually exhales when you hear it. Maybe I am safe and I can handle this. Maybe life supports me in this moment. Say it slowly, lovingly, 3 times. Feel the words. Let them sink beneath the busy mind and rest in the quiet soil of who you are. You don't have to believe it 100% yet. You only have to be willing to plant it. And here's something powerful you can do every morning that will change the whole climate of your inner world over time. Before you rush into anybody else's day, sit on the edge of your bed, place your hand on your heart, feel your breath, and answer 3 simple questions out loud. Who am I today? What energy do I choose today? What one step will I take today? That's all. Identity, state, step. It might sound like, today I choose calm strength. I act with purpose. I trust that I can handle what comes. Can you feel how different that is from opening your eyes and immediately thinking, I can't do this? It's going to be terrible? The point of power is always in this present moment, and the present moment begins fresh every single morning. For 5 minutes, make a small appointment with your own soul. Keep it. If you forget one day, don't punish yourself. Just say, I am willing to begin again. You don't have to control the whole day. You only have to bless the beginning. Now, I want to tell you something about what real resilience actually looks like, because most of us have it completely wrong. Years ago, I was working with someone who told me, Louise, I feel like a failure. Every time I start to feel calm and strong, something happens and I fall apart again. They believed that being strong meant never crying again, never feeling afraid again, never having a bad day. And I remember looking at them with so much love and saying, my dear, strength is not never falling. Strength is how you treat yourself when you fall. We looked back over their life together, and yes, they had fallen many times, but they had also gotten up many times. They had kept going. The heart had hurt, but it had not given up. And I said, can you see that you have already been strong? You just didn't call it that. You called it messy. You called it not enough. Resilience is not a perfect straight line. It is a soft curve that bends and then rises again. So let's give resilience a new definition together. Resilience doesn't mean you never get overwhelmed. It doesn't mean you never want to hide under the covers. Resilience means you return. You return to your breath. You return to your body. You return to your own heart. You wobble, and then you find your balance again. You cry, and then you wipe your tears with tenderness instead of shame. And I want to give you 3 gentle steps for this. Regulate, reframe, re-enter. When something knocks you over, first you regulate. Come back to your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Let your shoulders drop. Notice your breath without forcing it to change. Inhale and silently say here. Exhale and say now. Here. Now. You are teaching your nervous system we are not in yesterday's fear. We are not in tomorrow's disaster. We are in this moment, and I am breathing. Once the body calms even a tiny bit, the mind can hear a new story. Then you reframe. Instead of, I can't believe this happened, I always ruin everything, you whisper, this is difficult, and I am learning how to move through difficult things. The situation may be the same, but the meaning you give it is changing. You can ask, what if this is not the end of my story? What if this is just one chapter in my growth? and then gently you re-enter. One small loving action. Maybe you wash the dishes. Maybe you send one email. Maybe you walk around the block. These little steps tell your inner self, yes, that was hard, and we are still here, and we are still moving. Every time you do this, you are not going back to zero. You are going forward with more love than you had before. Now here's where it gets practical, because I don't just want you to feel strong today. I want you to build an inner life that stays strong. Think of your mind the way you'd think of your body. If you never lift anything heavier than a feather, your muscles won't grow. Not because they're bad muscles, just untrained. Your mind works exactly the same way. A strong mindset is not a personality trait you were born with or missed out on. It is a set of mental muscles you can develop starting right now. Let me walk you through 4 simple workouts for your inner strength. The first is learning to stay present with discomfort instead of running from it. Most of us were taught that discomfort means danger, but very often it's simply your nervous system saying, we are leaving old patterns, we are stepping into new territory. The first time you speak up, your voice may shake. The first time you set a boundary, your heart may pound. That doesn't mean something's gone wrong. It means you are at the edge of your old comfort zone. You grow at the edge of what feels familiar. So the next time you feel that flutter before something brave, try saying quietly, this is uncomfortable, not unbearable. We can breathe here. The second workout is choosing who you compare yourself to. Stop comparing your insides to other people's outsides. That is a game you will never win. From now on, compare yourself only to who you were yesterday. Were you a little kinder today? Did you take one breath before reacting? Did you reach out when you would have hidden? These things count. Every small proof tells your mind we can trust ourselves, we can build. You do not become strong by becoming someone else. You become strong by becoming more and more yourself. The third workout is handling unfairness without becoming bitter. There are things that happened to you that were not fair, and I will never tell you to just get over it. What I will say is this: unfairness is real, bitterness is optional. You cannot always choose the event, but you can always choose the atmosphere in which you heal from it. You can protect yourself, set boundaries, seek justice where appropriate, and still decide not to poison your own heart. Strength is not becoming hard and cold. Strength is staying soft and clear. The fourth workout is moving from worry to problem solving. Worry is like running on a treadmill. You sweat, you strain, you get exhausted, and you are still in the same place. When you notice the spiral starting, pause and ask one question instead. What is the smallest step I can take to make this even 1% better? Not perfect, not finished, just 1%. Maybe it is a glass of water. Maybe it is writing 3 options down. These are not dramatic, but they shift you from helplessness back into participation. And that shift is everything. And this brings me to the last piece, and I want you to really hear this. You do not need a dramatic breakthrough to become strong. You do not need a perfect morning routine or a completely different life by next Monday. What you need is to become a gentle guardian of small, loving changes. We live in a world that loves big jumps and overnight transformations. But your nervous system, your tender inner self, does not grow that way. It grows like a seed in soil, quietly, steadily, one tiny stretch at a time. What looks like a transformation is really just small shifts, repeated, repeated, repeated. Think of your strength as a garden rather than a fireworks show. Not loud, not dramatic. But if you come back day after day and water just a little, one morning you look around and realize, look at what this has become. So here are 3 small changes you can begin today. The first is 1 minute of breathing before you react. When something difficult lands, a sharp message, a problem appearing out of nowhere, instead of jumping straight into defense or collapse, Reach for a tiny inner pause button. Breathe in for 4 counts, breathe out for 6. Tell your body, we are allowed to respond instead of react. One calm breath before the storm can change the whole weather inside you. The second change is one healing sentence when tension rises. Just one. I am safe and I can handle this. Or life supports me in this moment. When you feel your shoulders climbing toward your ears, breathe and say that sentence 3 times. Calmly, like you mean it. Your words are not decoration. They are actual instructions to your nervous system. Every time you choose a gentle sentence over panic, you are building real mental strength. The third change is one tiny action every day that matches the person you say you want to become. Not waiting for motivation, not waiting for the perfect mood. Your identity doesn't change when you think about it. It changes when you live it, even in the smallest ways. One glass of water, one phone call you were afraid to make, 1 minute sitting quietly with your hand on your heart. These are not small things. They are evidence to your own mind that you are trustworthy. At the end of each day, instead of asking, "Did I fix everything?" ask gently, "What was my 1% today?" And then honor it. Because what you put your attention on grows. And from today, you are watering something new. Place your hand on your heart right now. Feel that steady, loyal rhythm that has never given up on you through every single hard day of your life. And say this with me: I am safe, I am supported, I am capable. Again, let it move through your body. I am safe, I am supported, I am capable. One last time, as a promise to your future self: I am safe, I am supported, I am capable. Strong people are not the ones who never fall apart. Strong people are the ones who return to themselves again and again in small, loving ways. You may not control who understands you or what tomorrow brings, but you can keep choosing your attitude. Keep choosing the words you plant inside yourself. Keep choosing your next loving step. There will still be days when you sway, when you forget, when an old pattern pulls you back. And that is completely all right. That is part of being human. True strength is not never wobbling. True strength is returning, returning, returning to your own heart. My mind is a tool, and I choose how to use it. What I put my attention on grows. Life supports me when I support myself. Let these be the quiet sentences that guide you when everything outside gets loud. You are not behind, you are not broken, and you are certainly not alone. There is calm power within you. It is growing every single time you decide to think a kinder thought, speak a gentler word, and take one small step in the direction of peace. Life loves you, and your inner compass is already ready to lead you home.